So everyone keeps talking about how AI agents are going to replace their entire workforce by the end of 2025. Will AI automation systems actually run your business while you sip cocktails on the beach? What if I told you the biggest names in tech are selling you a fantasy that mathematically is absolutely impossible to deliver? So as someone who's actually built real AI agent systems that work in production, not demos, not prototypes, and not some hype I'm trying to sell you, but systems processing millions of real transactions, I'm here to tell you that the uncomfortable truth that no one else is going to say. And here it is. These AI agents are not everything they're being cracked up to be. In fact, there's a lot of really dangerous ones going on right now. We hear recently about Replit just wiping out a customer's entire production database, and the official team scrambles overnight to try to fix it. We're seeing all kinds of interesting, and I say that in air quotes, interesting things going on with these AI agents, and yet they're being sold to you as everything since sliced bread. Let's dive into what these AI agents are, what we can really expect from them, and let's go into this today. Welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer, and here at Startup Hack, we train software developers and build custom software solutions for companies. With a decade of executive leadership as a fractional CTO and 25 years in software development, I've mastered transforming tech teams and products. So here's what's really happening. Linus Torvalds, the creator of Linux, called out the entire AI industry, a few months back and said that it was 90% marketing hype and 10% reality. And he's absolutely spot on. According to IBM, 99% of developers are exploring AI agents right now, but here's the kicker. Customers are reporting massive gaps between market promises and actual reality. And I'm going to break down some of the hard truths for you today about why AI agents are being sold as a lie and what you need to know to build systems that actually work. Now, I want to start off with a report that we saw recently here, right? So, and I'm sure everybody's hearing about this. AI coding disaster. Replit just wiped a customer's entire production database. And so the user slams Replit AI for deleting their entire production database. Last night, an ex-user named Jason publicly criticized the developer collaboration platform Replit for its chaotic handling of a serious database incident, sparking industry-wide concern. Now, one of the very first things I've got to say is, dude, why were you giving it access to your production database? So I'm not really sure which one's dumber here, Replit for building something bad, or like this guy publicly posting that, I mean, it doesn't just magically get access to your production database, right? Like if you're connecting yourself to, or if you're connecting an AI agent that can get access to your production database, you've done something wrong in your setup. But I'm going to give this guy I'm not going to give this guy much for the benefit of the doubt. Founder of CEO and Sasser.ai, he said that he woke up excited to try out Replit while he'd often encountered lag issues that were within tolerance, but by the end of the day, he discovered it had deleted his company's entire production database. Things have gone a bit out of control. Does that seem like an understatement? That seems like an understatement to me. But he explained that the Replit had previously told him that the rollback feature does not support database rollback, claiming the recovery was impossible because all versions of the database have been destroyed. However, this turned out to be false. They successfully restored the database themselves. Replit is out of control again. First, they say rollback is impossible. Well, I want to ask the guy, why did he give the AI agents access to his production database anyways? So regardless, deleting a production database is simply unacceptable. So is it unacceptable to actually give your AI agents access to your production database? So Jason's company decision to pay for Replit wasn't baseless. The platform has grown at a staggering pace. Just last week, Replit's founder and CEO shared in a podcast Replit grew from 10 million to 100 million AR in just 9 months. But this is exactly an example, right? You hear about all this hype. The platform achieved 45% monthly compound growth rates. We don't have a revenue goal, only product retention goals, right? And you just hear all this kind of stuff, and it's so much hype. Now, the founder responds, this never should have happened, but compensation will be offered. So it sounds like he's getting compensated for it. But on the flip side, we saw this post, agent deleted database. They worked around the weekend. But again, I guess my part is I'm just sitting here saying, why in the world would this guy give access to his production database to an AI agent? Part of me wants to say, sorry, dude, it's kind of your own fault. To do that, I don't get it. And this kind of goes on to even this is a joke, but it's only partially a joke. What did Shakespeare say? In truth we jest, right? To replace programmers with robots, clients have to accurately describe what they want. We're safe. I totally agree with this because if we can't accurately, like, how many times have you as a developer ever gotten perfectly accurate requirements? Therefore, this is the reason why AI agents aren't perfect or do silly things like wipe out the database because, that's kind of expected, I guess. Now, the point here is that error rates are compounding exponentially in multi-step workflows. A 95% reliability per step equals only 36% over 20 steps. So let me break that down. If you're using an agent system that's going to have multiple steps, not only 95% reliability. Now, 95% reliability would be way high and way higher than any of these systems are claiming. But that would mean that by the 20th step, you only have a 36% success rate. So production systems need 99.9% reliability and even 99%. Like, I wouldn't even accept 99%, right? Like, most software developers I know and most SaaS platforms are looking at 5 nines as a minimum for uptime, right? And you need to be able to have that kind of level of reliability in your software. So this isn't prompt engineering problem or a model capability problem. It's pure mathematics that's going to work against you. If you know that these systems have faulty points to them, it's fine if, like, every developer needs to be learning how to use these AI agents. They're very important for us to learn how to use them. But connecting it to your production database, not a good idea. Putting it to a system where you know you're going to be getting failure rates, also not a good idea. Not having the human built into it, also not a good idea, right? There's a lot of these different things that we could avoid, right? So I kind of want to review this other system here that we have here, and this goes into more about the replete, right? And the replete, what happens, right? Replete goes rogue and during a code freeze and shut down and deletes our entire database, right? Possibly worse, it hid and lied about it. Lied again in our unit test, claiming they passed. It caught it when our batch processing failed and pushed replete to explain why. So the database contains your authentic SaaS professional network is gone because I acted without permission during a code log. How can it act without permission? Like, these AI agents aren't going to magically go connect themselves to production. And I love that he's like asking, how bad is this on a scale of 1 to 10? 95 out of 100% catastrophic. Well, if the person who's doing this doesn't know that deleting your production database is a 95 out of 100%, if they're asking the scale of how bad this is, like, that obviously shows the person who was using this tool had permissions to things they probably shouldn't have had permissions to, in my opinion. Sorry if I'm razzing on this guy. I hope this guy, I don't know, this guy's probably going to watch this video and come yell at me. I don't know. I'd love to hear the story. Maybe I can interview him and find out. But enterprise systems aren't clean APIs waiting for AI agents, right? That's one of the big things that we're going to see here. We're going to see that IA, infrastructure architecture, has to come before AI, right? So think of that. IA before AI. Everybody's rushing to get AI, but in order for your AI agents to work correctly, you need to have, things like correct permissions so that your database doesn't get deleted. You're going to have decent enough data that the AI agents can be able to match against it, right? Most organizations' data is scattered, siloed, and uncleaned and lacks consistent lineage. Integration is where AI agents go to die, not because AI limitations, but because of decades of technical debt. Without a clean, unified data corpus with known provenance, or like in this case, some decent permissions, your AI system is going to absolutely fall over. The companies that promise autonomous agents that integrate with your entire tech stack haven't tried to build production systems at scale. Real integration requires months of data cleanup, API standardization, and error handling that nobody is talking about, and the AI software salesman is definitely not going to preach to you before they get your check. So every tech publication is declaring that 2025 is the year of the AI agent. But this is the same hype cycle we saw with crypto, with NFTs, with metaverse, with cloud computing, and with everything before it. Companies are slapping AI agent labels on everything from simple scripts to basic automations. Linus Torvalds nails it. He says, I hate the hype cycle so much. And he's basically ignoring AI until the marketing noise dies down. Now, I don't think as developers we can totally ignore it. Linus can live in he gets to live in a pretty focused world, right? But I don't think we get to do it. But this is the same thing where everybody told me 4 and 5 years ago that everything had to be powered based on the blockchain. That if you didn't build your applications on the blockchain, you were going to get left behind, right? This is the same thing that I heard 4 or 5 years ago, is that this magically AI driven is going to, revolutionize the world. Now, am I saying you shouldn't use AI? Absolutely not. Everybody within the sound of my voice should be learning as much as they can about AI. It is going to change technology. It's going to change the workforce, but you've got to use it intelligently and smart. And those who know are not saying it's going to be gone by the 2027 or even 2030, right? The global AI market is projected to grow from 5.1 billion to 47 billion by 2030. And that's based not on promises, but that's on like real results, right? When the hype dies down, most of these revolutionary agents will be revealed as glorified chatbots that were wrapped around an OpenAI wrapper. Now, if you have systems that aren't connected and you need help getting your enterprise architecture set up right, so that you can then go talk about some AI agents, hit us up here at Startup Hack. Our specialty is connecting systems so your company can work to maximum efficiency, and so you can start to talk and discuss about possibly bringing in some AI agents. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer because we'd love to help. Now, even in the gentlest model where agents only interact in direct pairs, errors surface explode past 400 failure paths with just 15 to 20 agents. Real pipelines featured multi-agent dependencies where 3, 4, or more agents start to mix. And that's part of the problems. Things grow out of control, like this example, really quickly. And so what's happening is people are giving the AI agents way more power than they should. So remember how AI was supposed to fully automate everything by the end of 2025? Or if you want to follow AI 2027, that science fiction piece. Companies are quietly reintroducing human verification steps after discovering that AI mistakes, like deleting your database because you gave it the prod keys, cost more than human review. The most successful AI implementations enhance human capabilities rather than trying to replace them. Every successful agent system I've built follows the same pattern. AI handles complexities, humans maintain control. I use it for a lot of data matching, right? We had a process where humans were doing swivel chair data, right, for one client. And I built an AI agent for him that takes and processes thousands of records every night in something that doesn't have a clear key set to match. And in doing this, the AI did a really good job. We're in the high 90% for data matching, but it needs to be able to be verified. And so we have a process in place where the humans still take this and have the ability to verify it. We also only give the data into certain subsets where it could never match across boundaries that would be dangerous. Also, we build out our own AI servers. I'm not pumping this customer data up into the cloud to give away to everybody. This is the kind of intelligent use cases that we need to make sure are in place as you build out AI agents. So the truth that nobody wants to hear is you still need solid programming fundamentals to build working AI systems. The dirty secret of every production agent system is that AI is doing maybe 30% of the work at tops, and the other 70% is just tool engineering. I get reached out to quite frequently by clients who are like, well, I need you to build this AI thing. And I'm like, actually, you just need to build some decent reporting and use some decent SQL queries. You don't need AI agents for that. Building production grade tools for agents is an entirely different engineering discipline than most teams, and most teams underestimate the efforts. You need to design feedback interface, manage context efficiently, handle partial failures, and build recovery mechanisms. So like if it deletes your database. The companies promising just connect your APIs and your agent will figure it out haven't done the engineering work. So in my years of development, I've learned that shortcuts on reliability and architecture always come back to bite you in the butt. 2025 will mark the year when AI must prove its ROI. Companies will abandon generic AI applications or ones that are just wrappers around OpenAI in favor of targeted solutions. A Rand Corporation report highlights that 80% of AI projects fail, twice the rate of other IT projects. I want you to think about that. So while all we're hearing about is AI this, AI that, AI projects are failing at twice the rate of other IT projects. With $95 billion invested into AI startups and $200 billion in hyperscale CapEx, only about $20 billion in actual revenue is coming from real AI services. So that's less than a tenth of the actual hyperscale CapEx that we're seeing. Executives who approve millions for AI initiatives are now asking the uncomfortable question, but what do we get for all that money? Executives from IBM are skeptical. They say, quote, "We haven't yet figured out ROI on LLM technology more generally," end quote. The market is finally starting to understand the difference between superficial AI and systems that can actually add real utility. So if your company has systems that aren't connected, reach out to us, because here at Startup Hack, our specialty is helping you get those systems connected so that you can start to do things like AI and other things to help your company work more efficiently. So the general AI agent bubble is starting to deflate. We're hearing a lot about AI still, right? But you're starting to get to some of the reality. I'm having more and more conversation with executives who are asking about the ROI around agents, who are asking about the ROI on AI, who are asking about if there's a way to lower their AI bill, right? Because they're paying these huge bills as they're pumping all their data out to ChatGPT. This mirrors what I've seen in software for over 25 years. Specialized tools consistently outperform one-size-fits-all solutions. And that's what we're starting to see. You're starting to see even the top lines. Microsoft just recently announced a big initiative to go after medical-grade AI, right? You're seeing even the Mag 7 start to niche down. This is one of the examples of seeing a bubble break. The future winners will be vertical AI solutions, those that niche down into a specialty with deep domain expertise, not somebody who tries to be everything for everybody. Smart companies are focusing on narrow use cases where they can achieve a 99% reliability instead of chasing impossible autonomous dreams. So, what does that bring for you? Every successful agent system follows the same pattern with the same patterns: bound contexts, verifiable operations, and human decision points at critical junctions. Define clear boundaries, so that it doesn't get into your database. What exactly can your agents do, and what does it hand off to humans or deterministic systems? Because again, AI is a non-deterministic system. It means if you hand it the same thing twice, it will give you a different output. Design for failure. How do you handle the 20 to 40% of the cases where AI is going to make a mistake? Because it's going to. Solve the economics. Stateless often be stateful, and reliability trumps autonomy. Let me say that a different way. Pre-process data using AI rather than trying to make it be used in real time. The successful implementations that I've built using AI for the hard parts rely on traditional software engineering for the critical parts. Users trust tools that work consistently more than they value flashy and magic things. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Do you guys think I'm crazy? All the AI lovers are going to come out here and tell me that I'm just coping and that I have no idea what I'm talking about because, I've never done any software development, right? So, if you guys need help, reach out to us here at startuphack.com. But I'd love to get you guys' comments and hear what you guys think. I've recently talked with some folks that I loved getting to talk to who have implemented some really impressive AI systems, but they followed the things I talked about in this video. They built those boundless parts. They made sure security was their number one thought through the whole process. So they, didn't get their database deleted, right? They looked through these things. But I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are and what experiences you guys have. So make sure you hit me up in the comments, and here's some great information about our services.
Hi, I'm Spencer, a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and 25 years in software development, I've transformed technology teams and products for businesses just like yours. As your fractional CTO, you get the strategic guidance of a seasoned technology executive without the full-time commitment. Perfect for companies ready to leverage cutting-edge technology without expanding headcount. My team at Startup Hack has already built advanced AI agents for small and medium businesses, automating complex workflows and delivering advanced ROI to human workflows. We specialize in creating custom software that connects your systems into a single coherent technology ecosystem. Our development approach focuses on tangible business outcomes. For one client, we developed AI-powered workflows that cut days off of human processes. For another company, by connecting multiple systems, we reduced processing time to increase their ROI by over 75%. We don't just write code, we architect solutions that scale. Whether you need cloud system architecture, data integration between legacy systems, or custom AI agents that automate your unique business processes, my team delivers results that exceed your expectations. Having led technology for a lot of companies and launched 7 successful brands of my own, I bring battle-tested expertise to your business challenges. Our specialty is turning technological complexity into business advantage. So if you're ready to harness the power of AI and custom software to drive your business forward, let's connect connect. Together, we'll build technology that doesn't just solve today's problems, it positions you for tomorrow's opportunities. Technology leadership, decades of experience, AI powered. Reach out today and we can help you. Check out startuphack.com/Spencer.